All right, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Hope you're doing well. It's your boy Bit. We back at it. Excuse me for my absence. Your boy's been sick, but feel a lot better for this video at least. So I know I've been away, but I have not. Obviously, I haven't been, paying attention, or I have been paying attention, but how it is. So there's a lot to go on, or that's going on. There's a lot to unpack. There's been a lot of discourse. There's been a lot of divide, everything in that nature. I mean, this really shouldn't be anything new, especially with the way things have gone this generation. This generation is actively one of the worst. And I talked about this multiple times with you guys in multiple videos. So again, none of you should be surprised by my thoughts on this at all. But without further ado though, man, there is some stuff we're going to talk about. There's a lot of we've already gone over hypocrisy, but there's just a lot of weird, and I mean weird takes and weird energy in regards to people that simply do not want to talk about a problem that is happening in their own backyard. I've said this multiple times with you guys, whether it be in podcasts, YouTube videos. I've said this in multiple, I've said this in other shows and vice versa. I've always been open about this. It's like, listen, you can like something. You can like PlayStation. You can like Xbox, Nintendo, but if you don't want to be honest, if you can't be honest about a platform that you like, then what exactly are you really doing here? You know what I mean? If you're one of those types that sit here and goes to social media or makes videos or podcasts, and all you do is complain about the other side and how terrible it is, but then you are absolutely silent when your side does the exact same thing, you're pathetic. And honestly, I've cut ties with a lot of people. I can't be around it. It's just pathetic. But anyway, I'm not even going to waste no time with that. I'm not even going to give no attention to that. I'm just going to tell it like it is with this, man, because there's some information that came out, and it's information that it doesn't even surprise me, because again, we talked about sales on this platform. We talked about how things have been handled in general in terms of first-party management. We talked about just how the community as a whole has literally conditioned themselves to not support the games they talk about. They think hyping them up on Twitter or gaslighting them in videos and harassing other YouTubers is the way to sell these games, when the reality is they're not selling at all. And it's the truth. Like, for example, Exhibit A here. I'm going to go ahead and put on the screen. As you guys already know, Until Dawn got a remake or remaster, whatever you want to call it. This game was one of those first games we called out in a while on the channel. We was like, bro, who asked for this? You know what I mean? We don't need this. And yeah, dudes sit there saying like, oh, if you don't like it, don't buy it. You don't need it, blah, blah. It's an option. Okay. Idiots like that always crack me up. Let me tell you why. Because when idiots like that say that, these dudes be the main ones looking dumbfounded when they read the news that I'm getting ready to say right now. Courtesy of, as of yesterday, I guess you can say, breaking news, the studio behind Until Dawn remake, Ballistic has officially closed for good. That's right. And the reason why they closed for good, of course, is because the game did not sell at all. In fact, if we're keeping on this trend right here, also yesterday we had more layoffs, and this was courtesy of Visual Arts. Now, Visual Arts was behind, they helped Naughty Dog make The Last of Us remasters, and they also were helping Binge Studios with their live service games as well. And according to numerous reports, the layoffs are more widespread. And, it's crazy because, if you go back to last year with Concord being the biggest failure that Sony had in a long time, which also resulted in 2 more studio closures, with Firesprite being the one, and of course London Studio. With those layoffs, Sony has officially lost over 900 staff, which equates to 8% of their total workforce for PlayStation games. Insane. But dudes want to sit here and tell me that things are okay, things are great, and everything in that nature. These same dudes that were championing, or these same dudes acting dumbfounded were championing, Concord getting canceled because they didn't want live service games. But the reality is this. If Sony says no to the live service games, if Sony decides to shut down all the other live service games, what do you think Sony's going to get their money from in regards to their first party when they release day and date on PC? Because As you guys have seen with the sales, we have broken down numerous times. Stellar Blade only sold 1 million. Okay? Only sold 1 million. Astrobot sold 1.5 million. And that game, again, won Game of the Year. You go down other games, etc. Like, these games are not doing crazy numbers. They're just not. But again, dudes want to sit here and pretend that everything's okay. Square Enix ended their partnership with PlayStation in regards of exclusive content or exclusive games in general, and went full on multi-plat because there's just not enough money in PlayStation 5 ecosystem, which is insane because Sony has over 75 million consoles sold. You would think with the rise in console sales or whatnot, the attachment rate in regards to the first party games or just the software in general would increase. It has not. Most of the third party, or most of the games in general played on PlayStation 5 obviously are third party, which is a no-brainer, but it's mostly just the Call of Duties, it's the Fortnites and the NBA 2Ks and Maddens. Microsoft owns obviously Activision and Blizzard, so they own Call of Duty. So at the end of the day, Microsoft is winning big time at the end of the day out of this. And again, you go by the top 10 with Microsoft releasing games on PlayStation, games that dudes will tell you every single day and will cry or will literally scream at you over and say how terrible they are. These games that they call trash from the Xbox studios have outperformed a lot of the PlayStation games in the top 10 in terms of sales on the very PlayStation Store. That says a lot. It really, really does. But what's even more funny about this, too, they'll damage control this and say that, we got no problem supporting gaming. We love to support gaming. Okay. So with that mindset of you wanting to support these Xbox games, you paying $70, I have to ask you, how is Microsoft dead if you're supporting their games at full price? Old games, mind you, at full price, while those Xbox gamers get it for cheap in Game Pass and get all the bells and whistles included that you have to pay $70 for. Seriously. It doesn't sound right now, does it? Does it? You're paying full price and you're thinking this is some kind of gotcha moment when you're actively funding the sequels that Xbox gamers will be playing day one in Game Pass, while you again have to pay $70 for everything. But you guys think that this is some kind of flex. So by that logic, if you're okay with that, why are you so against guys like me saying games like Sorrow should be open to PC gaming? Especially when games like Returnal, the game that this game is a spiritual successor to, only sold 866,000 on PS5, mind you. That was only PS5. When you count PC, it sold over, obviously it sold over 1 million with PC included. So I don't know what's going on here. I really, really don't. It's weird, man. It's a weird mentality. Dudes really are so obsessed with lying to themselves, claiming that exclusives are the reason why we buy the platforms. Yet we have multiple examples of games not selling even a fraction of the actual console user base in terms of sales. But dudes want to lie every single day. It's because exclusives do not matter the way they used to. Now, granted, in the past, I am on record. I'll say this on camera. I'll say this in video because I have nothing to hide. I've had numerous videos on my channel. I have numerous posts on Twitter. I stood behind exclusives because exclusives can definitely be beneficial. For example, a good example of this is PlayStation 3. You guys remember when PlayStation 3 was having the worst time ever in trying to get people to look at the platform and get into the platform? What did they do? They came out with Uncharted 2. Uncharted 2 not only opened people's eyes to what cell architecture can do with the helicopter scene and everything. Uncharted 2 was the game to look out for. That game was a masterpiece. That game was a revolution for Sony, and it put Nathan Drake on the map in terms of being a mascot for PlayStation. Games like that can definitely sell you to a platform. Gears of War, when it first was introduced, is another prime example of something that can pull you to an ecosystem. If done right, it can be like lightning in a bottle. And it was like that for Uncharted, and it was like that for Gears for their times. But as you guys clearly can see by the way things are going now, exclusives are not enough to sell anymore. In fact, it's kind of like a death sentence at this point to have a game exclusive to a platform, especially going off the flip of a coin if whether or not those games be successful. If a game is not succeeding at all and is flat out just going to lead to the death of a studio, and keep in mind the budgets have gone ridiculously high, it all makes sense. I keep telling you guys this, like, yo, you guys want to argue about exclusives and all this dumb stuff, but it's like, bro, budgets are at an all-time high. Games in general, we've got more canceled games than we got new experiences, but dudes want to tell me left and right, oh, things are okay, and then I'm being extra for the sake of being extra. No, I keep trying to tell you guys, man, I'm trying to prepare you guys that, listen, if you want the best out of PlayStation, if you want the best out of your platform for you, then you better, and I mean better, get ready for change, because I'm telling you, it's happening right in front of you, and there's no ifs or buts about it. None. Dudes want to act like, want to be in denial. Fine, be in denial all you want, but you cannot deny the truth any longer. Things are changing right in front of you. Sony's already doing day-and-date releases at State of Play. State of Play. Lost Soul Sides, day-and-date with PC. But dudes don't want to be honest. That change is happening. Hey, listen. Good luck with y'all, man. That's all I got to really say. Good luck with y'all, bro. If y'all want to continue to argue this situation. And me, I'm going to sit here like everybody else and just enjoy the fireworks, because most of you dudes have crashed out and have gotten progressively worse every single day and will continue to get worse as things go forward. But, hey, what can you do, man? What can you do? Like I said numerous times, man, PlayStation is in a bad shape. And I mostly blame its consumers for this fact that they're in this bad shape. Granted, Sony has done a lot of questionable things that has put themselves in bad situations. We're not going to be weird here. We're going to be honest here for sure. But PlayStation in general, one of the main reasons why Sony continued to go down these bad decisions is because they lack the proper motivation from their community. Seriously. There have been multiple opportunities to push Sony in the right direction, especially with Sony upping the price of PS Plus, which dudes damage controlled for, price of controllers going up, prices for, or us being charged for online in general and vice versa. Dudes failed to realize that there was so much we could have done to fix PlayStation, but they refused to use their platforms. They refused to use their voice, their right to speak up for. Listen, man, if y'all want to lie to yourselves, go right ahead and lie to yourselves. I'm not going to be the one to, be a part of it. I refuse to watch a brand I like die in front of me. But at the same time, I refuse to watch an industry that I'll always be appreciative of also go under because dudes want to be trivial over games that they clearly don't care to buy and don't want to buy. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is the video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. But like I told you guys before, man, this industry is cooked. And so is Sony at this point. Sony is in such a bad shape, and a lot of you dudes are to blame that run your mouths about the opposition instead of holding your platform of choice, which is PlayStation, to the same imaginary standards that you keep making up every single day for Xbox. Notice how Xbox games were trashed this entire generation. Oh, but now they're great because they're coming to PlayStation. Notice how Xbox developers were incompetent and not worth our time, but you welcome them with open arms when they come to PlayStation. You guys don't care about gaming. You care about your own self-interest, and it's pathetic. And that right there makes me sick. And that's the reason why I've cut ties with a lot of people. But hey, you already know this is a new year, and we're going to do nothing but move forward. We're not looking back. So you know how it be. Anyway, I'll see you guys in another one when I feel better. I appreciate everybody for your patience, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Catch you guys later. Peace.